Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, finally back to normal and coming back at you with another episode of Big Mike's Indie Game Showcase. In this episode, we're going to be looking at one of the most hilarious RPGs I've ever seen. RPG Conquer the World by LL Studio, a game for iPhone, Android, Windows, and web browsers. LL Studio sent me a free copy of the game, so thanks LL Studio. But as a result, you're going to be seeing gameplay from this in the background, and this particular gameplay footage is going to be from the Android version. Before we get into the game, let's take a look at the developer behind it. I've covered numerous games both here on my YouTube channel and on my Twitter account, but fam, I have to say the story behind LL Studio is one of the most unique I have yet to come across. They originated as a graphic studio and a digital printing company with over 17 years of experience. Then at one point, they took stock of all of their skills and decided to shift their focus to game development. On their website, they state, "We excel in graphics. We are proficient in coding. We can deliver original stories. What else do we need? Nothing. Our motivation is to have at least 10 plus games in our portfolio." And this same energy is reflected in their motto. Playing games is not shameful. Are we wasting our lives by developing computer games? No! So hell yeah, LL Studio, keep rocking fam, keep on going. RPG Conquer the World is a unique genre-blending, perhaps genre-breaking experience. The developers describe it as: the main hashtags include adventure, RPG, visual novel, and pixel art. However, forget about the traditional RPG elements like strength, wisdom, or dexterity. There are no predefined character roles or professions such as warrior, mage, or thief. Instead, you only have 3 hearts, and at times you may face the possibility of death. This isn't a classic point-and-click adventure with numerous items and a plethora of possibilities for their use, while there are some items present in several situations. Indeed, it is a visual novel, telling the story of a boy and his challenges during an ordinary day. Expect to encounter humorous and sarcastic dialogues as you progress through the narrative. As for the pixel art, we employ the bicubic smoother function to enlarge certain sprites, so that sharp pixels are not visible. RPG Conquer the World follows the adventures of Jacob, a regular schoolboy who lives with his parents, who sets out to conquer the world, but who also must make damn sure he's home by dinner at 7 or else. We control Jacob as he navigates his daily life in the land of Lantir-Lamaf. He must also go to school, meet new friends, deal with the school bully, and even fall in love with the teacher's daughter. In the game, we're given 8 chapters, with 7 being playable. That covers our first day with Jacob. What's really cool here is that you can jump into any chapter at any time you want. It also makes things super nifty considering there isn't a game save feature. Though in complete fairness, it only takes about 2 hours max to complete the game. Now here are my thoughts on RPG Conquer the World. Now first, I want to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay in some regards is very straightforward, especially if you're a veteran of RPGs. However, oftentimes that experience will be used against you, like a martial artist redirecting your attack, often for humorous purposes. A great example of this is the tutorial, which also happens to be my favorite section. There's a green arrow and a red circle that shows you where to stand, and you have to follow it and stand in an exact place to progress the tutorial. However, at one point the arrow and the circle land in separate places, and standing where the arrow is, as you must to progress, causes Jacob to get hurt. As a result, Jacob lashes out at the arrow. "You green bitch!" In some places the game acts intentionally wonky, but that's done for humorous purposes, like when you have to leave one area but get thrown to the opposite side of the same area you're trying to leave. Now this is due to the in-game programming of the world having some issues, and one of the quests you're given is to visit the programmer and have him fix the bugs. But I'll talk more about this when I discuss the writing, as that part of the game gets quite meta. And one final thing I want to bring up about the gameplay is that it does a great job at capturing the everyday aspects of life. Like, does Jacob need to eat? If so, find his meal. But because he eats, he's gonna have to need to go to the bathroom, which in turn means you're gonna have to acquire toilet paper. And once you're done, you just can't simply walk out of the bathroom. The narrator is going to guilt trip Jacob into washing and drying his hands. And something about that aspect feels very Adult Swim-esque. Now I want to talk about the aesthetics. The writing here is without a doubt the star, and the comedy is, in my opinion, solid gold. However, I will add a bit of a caveat. A lot of the jokes and scenes will require that you have at least a little bit of experience playing RPGs to fully appreciate, though I don't really see this as something to hold it back. If you have decided to give RPG Conquer the World a go, I'm willing to bet money this isn't your first RPG. As I just mentioned, a great deal of the humor is focused on RPG elements, but there are other types of humor to be found here as well. Sarcasm is found in great abundance. My favorite instance of this is when you're told by the narrator that you have to pay attention because you're given your mission, and Jacob says, "I will conquer the world," and your mother tells you you better be home for dinner at 7, and then the narrator quizzes you on your mission, and you're given 2 options to choose from: conquer the world or be home by 7. No matter which one you choose, you're wrong, and you will have to repeat this again. This time too, both choices are wrong. Finally, you will have to repeat this a 3rd time, where the narrator finally tells you the correct answer is both. The humor also gets quite meta, and the best example of this is when the player visits Dakota's house to get the game's errors fixed. There's an exchange in which Dakota introduces himself in his role, and Jacob is like, "Oh, so you're a slave." I can't help but feel as if that line is one that comes from the personal experience of one of the programmers. And lastly, I just want to talk about the visuals and the sound. This is one of, if not the smoothest looking pixel art games I have ever seen. And this is my first time, knowingly at least, playing a pixel art game that employs the bicubic smoother function, and I love the results. The overall effect is that the visuals look smooth, all the while the game has a retro look. Now, in regards to the sound, I like the overworld music. It's there, but not too overpowering. And lastly, I love how the game has a random choir singer who shows up at a couple of random points and sings in the game, but as of now serves no purpose besides being comic relief. Now here are my final thoughts. I feel like LL Studio is off to a really great start with this project. The energy and humor here in this first part is something I feel like I've only rarely come across in an RPG. But not only is the project fun, but you can really feel that the developers had a great deal of fun making it too. While doing my research for this video, I was checking out LL Studio's website. And it seems like this same humor from RPG Conquer the World is an intrinsic part of who they are. So on their website there's a little Easter egg in which there's a heart, and if you click it multiple times it'll annoy the heart, but by annoying it constantly it'll give you different messages. And I just found that to be a nice little touch, but a great example of the type of humor they bring to the table. Anyway, LL Studios, if you're watching this, please keep this up. I love part 1 of the game and I'm looking forward to the next installment. Also, I love your studio in general, and I believe you all have a great deal of potential, and I know you're going to deliver an amazing second part. So I look forward to checking out the next installment of RPG Conquer the World, and I look forward to checking out your future work. And for all of you watching, please be sure to check out RPG Conquer the World on Google Play, the iStore, Steam, itch.io, or LL Studios website at the link below. And if you'd like to give it a try before buying it, there's a demo available as well. Also, be sure to give LL Studio a follow on Twitter. And with that out of the way, we'll call the video proper here, fam. Welcome back to another Big Mike Inslate, the part of the video that's not really part of the video, where I'm all natural duck daddy. That's right, fam. This duck in this part of the video, all natural, no chemicals, no antibiotics, no steroids, and I'm all natural free-range duck daddy here, fam. And this was my first gaming video to kick off my hardcore gaming season of 2024. So my hardcore gaming season tends to run from about this time until December. And you can expect not really my other content to go away, because I'm still going to make content about other things as they happen. TV shows, Beavis and Butthead, maybe another anime video, some stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully some episodes of Coffee with Big Mike, videos covering news stories in the world of AI, UAP, stuff of that nature. That stuff isn't going anywhere. But you can expect to see more gaming videos on a regular basis during this time of the year. And it's something I really look forward to. I'm a huge gamer. Unfortunately, during my busy season, I don't get a chance to play mini games. In fact, this year, when I did my video on Villain's Pit, that was the first time in a very long time, if ever, that I actually played a video game during my busy season. So I'm glad to be back in the video game saddle, fam, and bringing you all some related video game content. And I have some pretty cool things in store. I don't really want to mention anything now because some of these projects that are really big are going to involve other people, and I'm waiting to get things more solid before I mention them publicly. Because I try my best, though sometimes I do fail. I try to underpromise and overdeliver as opposed to overpromise and underdeliver. That I try to make that my goal. I'm not perfect. I tend to get ahead of myself a bit sometimes, but that's how I try to run things. I was aiming to make a second video this week. I still may. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. I originally intended it to be a Big Mike's Big Universe episode. However, unfortunately, as it sometimes happens, the news stories I was going to cover didn't really pan out to be much of anything. And it was one of those type of episodes. It was going to be one of those type of episodes where none of the stories were really big, but there were some interesting small stories. But when you have like two that don't pan out, it kind of takes away from most of the substance of the episode. So I decided just to scrap that. So if you saw my promise on Twitter or my schedule on Twitter saying, oh, there's a possibility of a second video coming out this week and it's going to be an episode of Big Mike's Big Universe, and it doesn't happen, that's why. There still may be a second video this week, and not quite sure what it's going to be yet, but the possibility is still there. Though I do have an idea for one, though it's also possible that that video may evolve into a larger one, which may not see the light of day until the next week. So who knows at this point, fam. But I am glad to be back. Glad to be back to normal. I know you guys can probably tell my energy is back to normal. No more morning voice Mike. No more, low energy. I am back, fam. I am fully caffeinated, and it feels so good to be back, fam. And that's really all I have to say here. Not too much going on, but things are starting to heat up very, very rapidly. As not only is this my hardcore gaming season, but this is also my busy season for online content as well. So, and those two things coinciding probably aren't a coincidence, but that's a different story for a different day. But with all of that stuff out of the way, I just want to give a very special thanks to Fran, who does an excellent job doing my work. She's going to be back on Twitter at some point in time. Don't know when, but when she comes back, please be sure to give her a follow, and please be sure to commission her for any artwork you may need done. She is a phenomenal artist, fam. A phenomenal artist. And not only is she good at her craft, she's a damn good person to work with. And I would highly recommend giving her a shot. Also, special thanks to all of my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And a special thanks to all of you for watching this video. Please like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. But if you want to be really cool, fam, if you dislike this video, please leave me a comment below and tell me why you dislike it, so that I can be the best Big Mike I can possibly be for all of you lovely guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. But even if you like this video, please leave me a comment too, because I love hearing from you all. It really makes my day when I get a comment. And if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out!